Well, well. Looks like everybody's going to be tapping into the STS Chronicles with your boy 6MK Live and the Senator Mad Mike Sports.
Yeah.
What's happening? What's happening? It's a lazy ass weekend, I guess. I guess we're getting an early spring today, cause boy,
Yeah, it feels kind of good out there today.
it feels weird. And my black ass, by damn near felt nappish.
Well, you did better than I did because I laid down and I ain't did nothing but eat all day.
Hey, it happens like that. But we ain't gonna be on here too long talking about this because we want to get this out the way before you get to the Atlanta Hawks live watch party with OG Sam, aka Mr. Wide Network. So as we already know, Mike, yeah, like you said, it's been a long, boring day. Um, Today's conversation that we have is pretty much self-explanatory. We're going to be talking about alliances, villains, and agents of chaos, and the ideologies behind a lot of this stuff. And guess what, y'all? We're going we're going to be the subject of this conversation. Yay! 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 So, Mike, when we look at the title, alliances, villains, and agents of chaos, what is your definition of each one?
Hmm. Well, that's kind of interesting that you say that. Alliances. Alliances can mean a number of things. I mean, it has one meaning for the most part, but like it could alliances could be good, bad, indifferent, and everybody just come together for the good, the bad, and indifferent.
Okay.
And what villains? Whew. I mean, everybody could be the villain at the end of the day. I think everybody could be the villain when it comes down to that. Um, whether it's good because it depends the eye of the beholder, whether it's self-serving or to be honest, self-serving or I think everybody at some point kind of feel like they villains to a certain extent, which is interesting in its own right.
Right. And what is your thought on the phrase agent of chaos?
The agent of chaos. I think the agent of chaos is something that like when you talk about agent of chaos, I think somebody just have it set. When I think of agent of chaos, I think it's somebody that's really just trying to like they're gonna do anything and everything possible to make sure that shit is whatever goal that they have is gonna be set. Like they're gonna make sure that goal come to pass. An agent of
Mm,
chaos, yeah, they're gonna cause all types of hell just so they can accomplish whatever goal they set out.
mm.
That's what I see when I hear Agent of Chaos.
Okay. Because what I seen from what the definition of it is, they already kind of said that there is a difference. Like you said, um, villains usually have the goals set, whether it be power or such and such, that kind of goes against it goes against the majority.
Mm-hmm.
And what an agent of chaos is, an agent of chaos is just somebody who likes to disrupt the order in itself is really without a structure or without a plan, but just likes to just disrupt things just to appease themselves. Because when we talk about people that are agents of chaos, and we see a lot of these out here in society, and we see these out here in media spaces and stuff like that. You just have people whose sole purpose is to cause disorder in the
Mm-hmm.
spaces in spaces that are meant to be one way. It's basically like going against the grain,
Yeah.
but destroying the order just for the sake of going against the grain.
Mm-hmm.
Villains are more so of like destroying the order to set their own order.
Yeah. Okay.
So my thing, so the question that I asked you is, like you said, just based off of our own experiences here and the public perception of what you, me, Sam, Juan, Chauncey, and etc. Would you see us as villains or really agents of chaos?
Well,
Because apparently to these some bitches, we the worst human beings on the planet. So um
I mean, based on the definition you just explained, I don't think it's about our order. I think it's more of anything. I mean, we're labeled villains, agents of
right.
chaos, but I can kind of see a bit of both, to be honest.
Mm. That's why I want that's the conversation I wanted to have. Like in what sectors of each do you think kind of represents what the unholy alliance is?
I mean, both, to be honest. Like, we're here to, because the space that we've been in for quite some time,
Hmm.
it's been one way.
Hmm.
And that one way, in our opinion, hasn't worked for the greater good.
Mm.
That way has not worked for the greater good at all.
Right, right.
And I think if you look at it too, we could be villains because we're going to do things our way. We're going to set forth the order to make sure that our way of doing things, and we're not just talking about the unholy alliance, we're talking about even the people that support what we do. We're going to set forth what we see that is the right order. We deem to be the right order. Our way or no way at all. So
Setting our own
I kind of
standard.
see, set your own standard. So I can
Mm.
see, like I said, I can kind of see it both ways, to be honest.
Mm. So essentially, what it comes down to with the villain side of things is because you kind of go against the grain, where the majority is about lollipops and unicorn farts and um
You know what? Unicorns,
and
good God.
and the power of friendship. Our way of things is a little bit more chaotic and unruly,
Mm-hmm.
even though it serves the purpose, even though it serves the same purpose, it's a different approach.
It's a different approach. Yeah.
Mm,
So it's not necessarily, like I said, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it can be uh, labeled a bad thing based on someone else's own personal, you know, ideals. To be honest, because that thing they could be out just like, look, my number is this,
mm,
and anybody that comes out and and try to disturb the peace, so to speak, and get out of our way because we
mhm,
want to be seen as the good guys.
mhm.
Yeah, it could easily be turned
But
interpreted as bad.
but my question that comes down to this is the goal what it seems like what the goal is to be the quote unquote good guys is a quote to be on the upper or the uppers of the common folks,
Yeah,
but it's a pros and a cons to that for the simple fact that, that I'm gonna use wrestling analogy for this. I'm gonna use Rey Mysterio Jr. for example.
hmm.
When you look at Rey Mysterio Jr. or Rey Mysterio, well, I can't use Rey Mysterio Jr. because that's WCW wide. Rey Mysterio. When you see Rey Mysterio,
Mm-hmm.
what do you see him as? You see him as kind of like the lovable baby face, the
Yes.
guy that kind of represents the don't die attitude, the giant killer style.
Mm-hmm.
And he, no matter what he does, you're always going to see him as a baby face.
Yep.
Whereas the counterpart to that is Dominic Mysterio,
Mm-hmm.
who is kind of a representation of the bad guy side of Rey Mysterio, which goes back to WCW, in which you see the bad guy version of
Yeah.
Rey Mysterio. And Dominic Mysterio is actually the culmination of the filthy animals version of Rey Mysterio.
Yep.
So the thing about it is you're still getting the same type of reaction, the same type of pop, but aspect.
A different aspect of it. Yeah.
So in the aspect of what the unholy alliance is, the reason why we embrace the idea of being the villains is it goes against the norm. And you know what the norm is.
Norm in the space is.
The norm in the space is don't hurt nobody's feelings. Everybody's right. Um, you
Nobody's
don't
ever
challenge
wrong about it, and nobody's
don't.
ever wrong about their ideals and the things that they say.
Mhm. And you cannot challenge anybody's opinions,
Mm-mm.
but they can challenge your opinion. That's the interesting part
They
about
can
this.
challenge yours, but
They
you're
can
not
challenge your
allowed.
opinions, but you can't challenge this. That's interesting. Um,
Go drip.
Drip fan said every piece in the 2000s was sort of a heel too, but people still cheer him. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you have a like you said, you have certain people who are who are considered bad guys and or villains, but are relatable to people.
Yeah, Stone Cold and the Undertaker. They were actually villains.
Hell, The Rock was a damn
Rock.
villain the whole time. They were all heels, but
Mm-hmm.
because they was relatable and they were fun, people gravitated towards
Mm-hmm.
them. And this is what we represent. We represent being despised by everybody, but also loved by a few, just based off of being
Mm-hmm.
a little rebellious from the establishment in itself.
Mm-hmm.
So, so that's almost on the borderline of being what you would call the agent of chaos,
Mm-hmm.
because, like you said, since we kind of go against the grain, it it frustrates people the fact that because we do go against the grain, and you know how it is when people are not people are upset with folks that don't conform to the majority
Mm-hmm.
and still get the same type of love. It's a certain it's a resentment that come with it.
Yeah.
What's up, Don?
What's good, y'all? Y'all
Man,
talking
I,
about y'all talking about envy.
envy, villains, agents of chaos, alliances. We talk about all that, man.
Have y'all ever
Uh,
heard? Have y'all ever heard of a story of a boy that had wings and the boy and another boy that had gills and fins?
I know. All right, go ahead, explain it to us.
So one day, the boy with the gills and fins, he was swimming in the ocean. He looked up, he saw a boy with wings, and he was like, why can't I fly?"
Mm-hmm.
So he went back to his mom and had the story, and his mom told him that some people are put on this earth, or some creatures are put on this earth to only do certain things. But I don't want to go through the whole story because the whole story. But long story short, the boy got jealous. The boy was jealous of the boy that had the gills and the fins was jealous of the boy that had wings, and he wanted to fly. So he got out the water, got on land, and what you think happened to the boy? He
That motherfucker, man, that motherfucker died of asphyxiation.
he almost died, but the boy with wings he helped him and threw him back in the water.
Uh,
And the
okay.
boy with wings told him, "Hey, there was a couple of years ago. I tried to get in the water because I wanted to swim, and that wasn't for me." So, long story short, you cannot be jealous of or envy people who are on a different status or in a different situation because you don't know how they obtained that status or how they got there or how they arrived there. Sometimes you just gotta you gotta do two things: put in the work and just be grateful for what God gave you.
Mm-hmm.
Mm, mm. Yeah, that's the first time I actually ever heard that story like that. But yeah, that makes a whole lot of sense.
My art teacher back in middle school, King. If y'all heard of King Middle School, that's the middle school I went to over there in
Mm.
Summer Hill, and yeah, he told me that Mr. Davis.
See, we ain't get stories like that. We ain't get those stories like that.
I
The
always
only
got
time we
weird stories about some
only time we
creatures.
ever got stories like that is when we was doing Greek mythology. That was about it. We
Yeah.
know about all them damn stories that go on with that.
Everybody
hmm
heard them Greek mythology stories. These guys.
Exactly.
A lot of people,
But
yeah, and most of those stories, like people that folk tale stories like that, people it always stems back for Greek or Roman mythology
mm,
or Norse. You got Norse mythology. You also have African mythology too. So
right.
a lot of stuff come from just generations of just passing knowledge and wisdom down to your kids. You know, that's another thing. That's a whole nother topic, a story of wisdom being passed down from generation to generation, and each we can see now that ain't really happening. I don't
Because
know
I
what
think
y'all
right
do.
now, I think the reason why it's not like that now is because we have so much technology and so much access to information. It's kind of hard to put. It's kind of hard to really tell those folklore tales without people having information to debunk if it's true or not.
You right, but you got to think about this too. You're absolutely right. But the thing is, we got the technology, but people are not really using it to the advantage that they need to use it to. Because
Mhm.
look, end of the day, yes, my kids got all the technology in the world, but I always sit down with them either at dinner or we sit down, outside or drive while I'm driving. I'm not playing my music. I'm talking to them, and I just have a conversations with them and tell them things that's going to help them, that's going to benefit their lives. So
Well, I think just today in itself, I think the majority of us are just emotionally stupid now.
but the thing is
We
too, I'm sorry, go ahead.
go ahead. No,
Uh,
I just said we just emotionally stupid now.
we are. But back then, it wasn't a choice. We was forced to sit there and listen to an adult. We didn't talk back. We sat there and we listened. These
Mhm.
days, it's like kids have a choice. They don't have to listen.
Or you
Mm.
didn't have a choice back then, or get your face punched in or
And then,
whipped.
and then you get your face punched in, and then you sat there and listen.
Yep. That's for sure. You gonna listen.
And it ain't even just the kids, but it's also in the adult space in itself where where we used to barter information and barter stuff like that to kind of help each other stuff. Like you said, it's kind of a tribalistic mindset where it's like, okay, my tribe here versus your tribe here versus your tribe here. And like I said, I'm not going to trade with you because you have burgundy socks on.
Yeah.
I'm not going to trade with you because a lot of y'all got white streaks in your head.
Mm-hmm.
And this is kind of where we kind of fall into the category of that is we're essentially right now are the standard, yet the villains. Is the reason why it's called the originators because let's just be honest. People need us to be on the front lines to figure out what the fuck is popping or not.
Yeah.
You may say that that sounds very arrogantly to say that, but it's true. And not only is it true, it has actually been admitted on live air on how that rolls.
Yeah. Several people like stated.
Hmm. But like you said, that also just comes with a price of just being told by everybody that you lower than human dirt.
Mm-hmm.
It is
Self
what it is.
self-fulfilling prophecies, man.
Hmm.
This is why you either speak life into people or you're going to speak demise in people. So
Right.
it's like you got to be careful. People say words don't hurt. They're very impactful.
Hmm.
I won't necessarily they don't hurt physically, but words can do damage to people.
Word, words can dictate whether you move up in life, or you fall by the wayside. The thing about it is how is the thing about it is it depends on how you hear the words. Are you going to let it be your downfall, or are you going to rise above those words and make something of yourself? See, now that's where we go into what the agent of chaos side of. See, like I said, just based off of that aspect of it, that's what an agent of chaos kind of culminates in. It's just about just sowing seeds of disorder just for the sake of seeing drama.
Mm-hmm.
And now, what you think? What you think about that as far as the agent of chaos and having certain people around you where you might have people who are aligned with you into helping you do good things versus people who are around you who are to sow seeds of doubt and make you doubt yourself just to keep a
Come,
chaotic environment for them to
it's
operate in.
just it's just like this here, man. You know, you know how you supposed to eat. You're supposed to eat healthy, right?
Mhm.
So what you eat, whatever you consume, it is going to dictate how your health is going to be. It's the same thing when you have friends around you, the people you have around you. Whatever people you have around you, you're going to consume the energy that they're giving out. Either it's positive energy or it's a negative energy. So it's either they're gonna bring peace, or well, I'm gonna say bring. They're gonna either add peace in your life or they're gonna add chaos in your life. But in the end of the
Right.
day, you have to decide what's best for you. Some people thrive better in chaos. I
Hmm.
don't. I don't. But again, you just gotta the decision making of well who you have around you is very detrimental,
Hmm.
especially as
Yeah.
an adult. Like kids, it is what it is. They kids. That but when you become an adult like us, it plays a huge role.
Exactly. And we got here said strapped up. He wrote a whole dissertation here, so I'm gonna read the whole thing. It said I agree, emotionally stupid and assuming AI knows everything. We also don't hold each other accountable when we are wrong. People don't want to take the time to learn and research. The media has become very divisive over the years. It doesn't want us to come together. We also live in a snowflake society. And he also said he was reading a book regarding on how to be a charismatic leader. And one of the chapters was speaking about how words can trigger or incite wisdom in the people.
Well, the thing is, trigger and insight is the power that you have for yourself. Like the thing is power to trigger and it's power to inspire. That is up to you. You have the power
Mhm.
to let something trigger you or inspire you. So the thing is, when it comes down to words, you is something that you have to continuously feed into yourself and to your spirit. If you hang around a bunch of people that constantly saying you ain't shit, you ain't shit, you ain't shit, and they're not teaching you how to become a better person with that, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, it's going to trigger you. It's going to
Mhm.
it's going to trigger you to think negatively about that. So it just comes
Mhm.
down to you. If people that there are people that went through traumatic uh instances because like for me, I tell people all the time, like I'm not ashamed of this shit. Like most people are ashamed of it. But I was almost kidnapped around like 13 years old. So I was almost kidnapped by a gay dude. Like coming home, walking home from school, because back in the day, like if you was in walking distance from school, yeah, your ass was gonna walk. And they ain't gonna send a school bus for you. All right,
Hell nah.
you gonna walk. So I wasn't walking distance to school. When my dude just decided he gonna go, I'm 13 years old, and he's just gonna hop out of the car and grab my arm. You know what I'm saying? And those types of situations, like even now to the day, Like I watch everything in everybody's body language. I watch calls. Like look, like when I'm
What?
good, when I'm in my neighborhood, like if I got my strapped up, if I got
Look,
my strap with me, my shit is on my hand. You know what I'm saying? So
look,
it's things like that when happen, Kill. You got a story with that, Kill? Because I know.
look. Like I said, man, I know my thing is if I'm driving anywhere, if I see a car that's literally the same car that makes every turn that I make,
Yeah,
I have a two-turn minimum. I have a 2 to 3 turn maximum.
yeah. See,
Once I get to that 3 turn maximum, oh, I'm pulling over. I'm finna see what the fuck you about to do.
see what I'm saying? So it's really
Fuck
just what you
that.
take. It's really what you make of it. Like I said, everybody
hmm
has traumatic events, but sometimes people let those
And,
traumatic
and, it,
events
And you gotta
control their entire lives.
and the
I don't
thing about
think.
it is, it's not even really a traumatic event. Like me, naturally, I don't trust people. Period. That's just my natural
Mhm.
instinct. I don't trust anybody.
He not
and,
wrong.
and the thing is, man, at the end of the day, and I just let this be a lesson for you guys. It is not your job to manage other people's triggers. It's their job, like
No,
y'all just
it's
said.
theirs. Yeah.
Mhm.
And if you're around someone that's, I ain't gonna say overly sensitive, just easily triggered by everything, maybe you just don't need to be around that person.
Yeah.
You
Right.
just don't need to be around that person. Because in the end, everybody's not made for everybody. I know I'm not. I know I can't be around everybody. I'm not a people's person either. So my circle is very small when it comes down
Mhm.
to just socializing and
Ooh,
just
boy.
being
Yeah.
around people. Because I just know how people are. People want to control things, or people want you to do things. I'm not like that. I like to do. I don't force people to do what I like, but I like to do what I like. If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I like to do what I want to do when I want to
You
do it.
like to have control of your own destiny, not depicted by everybody else's damn feelings.
Exactly. It's your job to manage your own feelings. So if you have, look, I've had um traumatic things in my life happen. I got shot. I got stabbed. I done been locked up when I was younger. Um, became a parent young. Like again, like moving a lot, foster care, seeing my parents getting locked up, all that.
Mm,
But and verbally abused by some of my family members growing up, neglected. Again, it's a lot I've dealt with, but I've never forced people to
hey.
move the way I want them to move because of my past experiences and stuff.
Mm,
No, easy thing to do that. Look, I just don't fuck with a lot of people.
Mhm.
Look, that makes life so much easier.
mm-hmm.
Right. And like I said, even for me, like I said, I haven't had as many of the traumatic experiences maybe Mike or Don has had. But like you said, the main thing that I was taught growing up is don't trust nobody.
Yeah,
That was the thing.
I heard
Be
that a
be
lot. Okay.
I learned that from
like I said,
look. I learned
be
that from Stone Cold Steve Austin.
like I said,
He, he,
you got to be a wolf. Like I said, there's a reason why. There's a reason why the alpha and the wolf pack always lead from the back because he's always watching everything.
Watch it. I
Mhm.
watch everything. My dad, like, look, my dad gave me a shank. Well, I ain't say a shank, but he gave me a knife. He gave me like a little pocket knife. I think I was like 8 years old, and he told me that he told me to just have that thing everywhere you go. Somebody try you. Hey, you know you got that. So that's at a young age that I would talk these things because of traumatic sense. Because my dad, when he was 13 years old, he saw a man brains get blown out at 13 years old. So that traumatic experience for him it went for him. So he don't trust nobody and nothing. Okay, nobody and nothing, and that's the way he's been most of his life. But like even with his traumatic experiences, he still looked for good a lot of the things, a lot of people, and a lot of things. You may not trust everybody, but you don't think everybody in the fucking world is there to screw you
Right.
over and things of that nature. So you don't that like I said, it's not someone else's problem to sit up
Mhm.
here and adhere to all your triggers and all your feelings. Like that's your problem. I don't care. Nobody should be forced to care about all your triggers 24 fucking 7 because we friends. We husband and wife. That's like a lot of relationships get fucked up because everybody to feel some way about their triggers and their feelings. You got to be responsible for your feelings a lot of the time.
Mhm.
Responsible for that. Hey, because maybe like me, like I know when I've gone too far. Like it's just in me to know when I've gone too far. Okay, that's something I think we all naturally have when you know you don't went too damn far. You don't really want to say it, but you know you went too far. Everybody naturally
Right.
has that.
Right. Strata said, "What do you got thoughts on financial literacy and teaching our youth about it?"
Um, Financial literacy is something. I mean, that goes from black, white culture. It's a lot of times it's just good. It's the same thing for
Hmm.
what we talking about now.
Yeah.
A lot of people,
Yeah.
like a lot of our actions are controlled by how we feel. I feel like I need this right now, and I'm not willing to wait for. I need this new pair of Jordan because I want to wear these right now. So a lot of it just go. It's the same thing. We governed by our feelings. We're governed by how what we want in that moment. So it's like you got to teach people not. You got to teach your
I
children
want
not to be governed by like don't just because you feel like because shit right now I know what I want. Y'all know what I want me some fucking lobster. Cause Don been he put that shit in my head yesterday, and all I've been thinking about lately for 2 days is lobster. And I know if I buy that shit, and I got bills and stuff like that, like some
to.
like some ain't gonna
Yeah.
get done.
Some got to be sacrificed,
Some got to be sacrificed. So like I know I want it. I
and
really
that's really what financial literacy really
that's
is.
what it is.
Is what do you deem to be important, and what are you willing to sacrifice?
Mm-hmm.
Some folks may look at material things as being the number one thing over their financial duties, which is their bills and stuff. And you
Mm-hmm.
got some people who care more about their bills than their own luxuries.
Yep. Walmart, my favorite shopping plaza. Okay, Walmart. I go to Family Dollar and get some $12 shoes.
Exactly.
Do I have Jordans? Do I have name brand shoes? Absolutely. But
What?
I look, I wear the
Bush.
same boots and the same toe up shoes. I wouldn't say toe up, but like, look, I go in there and get me some $20, $15 shoes, and I'm fine.
Boy,
I'm good.
I got
Financially,
four, I got four pairs of shoes. I got work shoes, running shoes, some Crocs, and some dress shoes. That's it.
that's all. That's what
Anything else beyond that, like now, I'm good.
we good. That's what financial literacy is. Don't be governed by your feelings. A lot of times, your feelings get you in a lot of trouble, whether it's finances or just you know, um, violence, street knowledge, like even certain relationships. Like you said, you want this woman to do this, and you want this man to do this, and when they're not doing that, you get upset. That's a trigger for you. So it's just not being governed by your feelings.
So what that so could you say that somebody that's governed by feelings is really an agent of chaos themselves?
Yes, they are. That there's no like an agent of chaos. Like I said before, there's no structure in chaos. That's why it's called chaos. Okay, there's no structure in chaos whatsoever. And the most people that always got something going on, they always talking about the same. Like I keep bringing up the 50 Cent and Ti stuff. Like the only reason why Ti and his whole family doing what they doing is because they're not let's be real. They're not focused on anything other than chaos.
Hmm.
They only focus on one, trying to destroy somebody. When your whole focus is trying to the folk to make this person look a certain way, that's an agent of chaos. You're not focused on nothing because the person that's really focused on themselves, they say what they say and they keep on moving. I crack a joke on a motherfucker, and I'm good. I'm probably watching another movie after that. Look, I don't watch and I don't
Hmm.
forgot about it and everything. We crack jokes all
Right.
the time in here, and a lot of people be saying, "Man, you trying to ruin my life? How you call me that?" It's like, no, I didn't. I just cracked the damn joke, and you got in your feelings about
You got clown. You didn't think you were gonna get clown, and you felt extra saucy about it.
it. Mm-hmm.
Like I
So,
said, man. Like I said, man. That eight. My thing is, if you allow, if you pay attention to the circle of people that surround you, like you said, you have three types of people. You have allies, you have friends, and you have agents of chaos. Friends are people who gonna fuck with you through the good, bad, and the ugly, and the
mm-hmm.
worst of time. Like I said, the best way to determine who's an ally and who's a close friend is not when things go good. It's when things go bad.
Yep.
That's where you gonna determine who really in your corner when shit ain't working.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you got a bunch of people around you that are looking at the aspects of benefiting from you only when things go good, those could be allies. Those are allies. Those are confidant. Well, I'm trying. What's that word? It's like it's not a coworker, but it's damn, I can't think of it. But like you say, it's basically an ally because the goal is to
Confidant.
be right there at that apex of where the good is at. A friend is gonna be there where the apex is there, or you pretty much lost everything.
Mm-hmm.
And trust and believe, everybody got those type of people around them where they're not really friends, but they're only allies as long as everything's going good. But I
Everything.
think what it is up to the people to pay attention to that. Because the thing about it is every sign is going to be there whether this person's really for you or this person's not really there in good attentions or this person or a gal or whatever is
Mm-hmm.
there just to sow seeds of chaos just to make your life live in hell.
Yeah.
There you go. Appreciate it, comrade. That's the word I was looking for, comrade. Or I was gonna say comrade or associate. One of those two, whichever one is comfortable for y'all.
Yeah.
Like I said, the thing about our friendship is deeper than just content itself because we've seen the worst within this group. We've seen the worst within
Yeah,
everybody. We done
yeah.
been through a bunch of traumatic events within each other's families, deaths, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We done seen people lose channels, people lose a lot of money.
A
You
lot of.
think a lot of money and a lot of channels. And the thing about it is, regardless on if they lost the channels, if they lost the money, they lost endorsements, or they lost a lot of potential notoriety and stuff like that. Everybody that's within the unholy alliance never turned on each other from that.
Oh,
Whether it be 20,000 subscribers down to five.
yeah, I've been there.
And,
Like I said, I've been
and,
there in that spot.
and that's really one of the major things that people don't understand about the group in itself is we can be allies to people, we can be villains to people, and we can be agents of chaos. But we can still hold the values of, you know, we still hold our own values, whether we one of the three.
And the part about that, like people don't realize, like we lost AFN and Mad Mike Sports at one point.
Literally in the same two, it's literally in a 2 week span.
2 week span, lost both of them. Thank God we ended up getting it back, but like we been there. We've been there.
Hmm.
And guess what
Right.
we did? You know, instead of leaving and doing their own thing, everybody came together and say, all right, this is the next course of action. We're gonna rally up. We're gonna use this one. We're gonna offer this platform for them. We're gonna start over. Nobody ran
Hmm.
away. Nobody ran away from it.
Right.
So
Exactly.
those are the things you talking about.
So my thing is when I say when you're talking about a community and you're talking about trying to have a sense of togetherness,
Mhm.
the thing about it is, and I want everybody to pay attention to a lot of the people that you see. Are they, you got to ask yourself this question. Are they together because they see something good? And if they are together, they see something good. If it doesn't go the way that they think it's going to go, are they still going to be together? That is the difference between motherfuckers being fake and motherfuckers being real.
Cause I've had so many people wanted to just be wanted to talk to me just because they know I've helped. Man, I think I've helped. We're done and out on help with close to 10 people
Shit,
in this space.
that's
Probably
that's
more.
just that's
Yeah,
just that's just
that's
y'all
just
two.
one right off the top. Right off the
That's
top.
just y'all two. So if we use me, done, and you for just in total people that we've helped and we've advised, not for no money or nothing like that,
Hmm.
it's about over 20, 25 people.
It's easily that. It's easily that.
And got screwed over by all 20 by at least 90% of them.
90% of them.
The 10% that didn't screw us over is the ones that we still around that y'all see with us now.
Yep. The ones you still see with us, you still are the one that didn't. So
The other 90% fucked the done got gaslit the fuck us over. It is what it is.
that's what we talking about you know, watching people because a lot of people are just like they agents of chaos. They here to just disturb. And I know y'all have heard that before. They just here to cause confusion.
Mm-hmm. All
I,
right. So you got a question here. It says, what it says, I have a question, it might be personal, but I'm gonna ask it anyway. What keeps you guys motivated? That question right there is good. What keeps me motivated for doing this? Because this is therapy for me.
that's who he
I have
is.
a
Can,
I
I
I
can
have a
speak.
regular look, I have a regular 9 to 5 just like everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
What, what keeps me
Uh,
motivated? What keeps me motivated is just understanding my status as a parent, a son,
mhm,
and a boyfriend, and a teacher as well, educator as well. Um, like I said, you have a purpose in life. Everybody has purpose, so you always got to strive for your purpose to work for your purpose. The purpose don't work for you. You have to work for your purpose.
right.
So I'm always have things and people who I'm that motivates me.
Mhm,
Well, look, I'm gonna speak for both of y'all. I'm gonna speak for both of y'all for a second because the thing is, I brought everybody in here because me personally, I saw something in them, and what I saw in Kill, a genuine person. I saw done the same thing, genuine person. You know, from Maggie to Jew. Like Jew was my first recruit because I knew exactly like he loved what he doing, obviously, and it was smart and intelligent, but they love doing what they did. You can't fake that shit. You can't fake being really a real like, especially doing this shit. Because a
mhm.
lot of times, like a lot of people don't know, it took me about 4 or 5 years to start making a dime out of this shit. like, and
What the hell you telling, boy? I ain't made my first check off of it. I ain't made my first maybe $10 off this shit till about 2 years later, boy. What the fuck is you talking about?
so we spending more money than we actually making. So if you
Hmm.
don't love this shit, you gonna see it real quick. And the people that you see that they come to you, they gonna have certain attitudes and expectations for you when it comes down to it because they're look. I'm gonna tell you just like this. This is how I'm gonna be real, and this gonna hit motherfucker right in the face right here. I don't give a shit. This is how you can tell when a motherfucker really don't love what they doing. Every when they get when they have been they've come to you on your platform and ask to be a part of your platform, and then they turn around and say you are the problem. Those are the people
Hmm.
you know that they ain't in it because they love talking Falcons football. Georgia, Michigan, Georgia Tech, Hawks, Atlanta United, FIFA wrestling. Those are the people you can tell because they point the finger at everybody else in the space when shit goes wrong and they don't keep going on. Because guess what? When AFN was gone for a good week and a half, when we tried to do everything possible to get it back, and we ultimately got it back, and then Mad Mike Sports, the same thing, but we ultimately got it back. Guess what? We still did it. We were
Hmm.
still we were still doing content. Okay, we were still doing it, and some of you people probably in this chat remember that. Okay, y'all remember that.
Hmm. They spent the whole two
That's how
weeks
you
on
can
my
tell
channel.
when people ain't really they don't really love what they doing because everything that they say is directed at well this person did me wrong and that person I'm not we can't see eye to eye and this person bad for this and that person bad for that. Those how you can tell the people
You
that
got.
really in it for the love of it. I fucking love this shit. Sports in my veins. I was born. Look,
Look,
my dad played baseball. Okay, my dad played baseball. He played football. Okay, I love this shit.
look. You gotta think about it from this standpoint, bro. Like I said, I work a regular 9 to 5 just like everybody else. Motherfuckers keep saying, "Look, I know Mike got you on the payroll." No, he doesn't. I don't want, like I said, I don't need to be on his payroll. I've known him long enough. I know Don long enough. I've known Sam, Juan, all everybody long enough. I don't do this shit for money. Do you know how many fucking questions that I gotta deal with on a daily basis, not just from the job, but from college?
Listen, listen. I've been around. We talking about football. I've been around football since I can remember. You know how much money I've earned from football, either playing it, coaching it, or even just creating content from it. How much money I
Not,
made since I was
not,
young? Not nothing.
nothing.
Why do I
Exactly.
keep doing it? Because the love of the game.
I love
Hmm.
this shit.
Like, I love football. Like, look,
Eh, eh,
I can go. I can be anywhere, go anywhere, anytime. Anybody or bring up a conversation of football or anything. I'm game. We talking foot. We talking ball. Any sports actually. Like
right.
like again. Like, I played football. I wrestled. I did track. I coached. Um,
Pie eating contest.
Not well. I dabbled in eating contests as well, but you know, at the same time,
He
it's like,
dabbled in it.
hey, and I won first place in those too. So hey, I'm a I'm a competitive person.
Right.
That's always been me. I'm not arrogant. Trust me, I'm not. I'm very competitive. You know, always. That's the thing. You always want to be on top. You always want to win at life. That's just how it is. So I would say, man, with people, just going back to what Mike said, we brought people in and stuff, and then whatever happened. But I never in my lifetime ever told someone who's the teacher or who's teaching me or showing me the ropes of anything, telling them me going out my way saying that they don't know what they're doing or they not good. Like, no, they're in that spot for a reason. They're a
Mm-hmm.
teacher. They're a teacher for a reason. They a CEO for a reason. They're a boss for a reason.
Yep.
They earned
Right.
that.
Look. Like I said, man, I done given away more ideas and more shows than
Boy.
anybody that you've ever seen in this space. I've given away ideas and
Look,
shows.
you don't know how
I'm
many
look,
ideas I done gave.
the first 3 years I started doing this, I didn't even have a set day for what show I was gonna do because
Nope.
everybody else wanted a certain day and I gave it up.
I had to tell him to calm down and do his own shit. I like, Kim, do your own. It's time for you to do your own.
Hmm. And I'm talking about outside of you, Don. I'm just talking about, especially from me, who was a guy that came into the space that really has no social media clout at all.
Mm-mm.
I was the relatively unknown in this shit when I first came in. Motherfucker thought I was a test tube baby. That's how new I was.
But you
Hmm.
absorb things from everybody. You didn't never say that. Oh man, I ain't doing that, or you ain't nobody, or I don't have to listen to you. Like, it's like, seriously, like, what if you at the end of the first thing as a human being, or not even just a human being, just a living thing, they always learn. You learn from your mother, your dad, they're the first teachers in your life. You're gonna learn how to go through life by learning from them or learning from auntie, grandmama, whoever raised you. Then it's the church.
But
Then it's the schools. Then it's your first job, or your coach that you played ball for. You always learning.
exactly. But but we're gonna go ahead and wind this thing down because I think Mr. White Network, I think he's doing the watch party on the Hawks game right now.
Yep.
So y'all make sure y'all go over to Mr. White Network as well as Mad Mike Sports so you can get your in-game commentary for the Atlanta Hawks Portland Trailblazer game going on as we speak.
Yes.
Fellas, I think this was a good one right here. Um, Appreciate Don. Don, this was the topic that he had. Kind of tweaked it a little bit, but I think we pretty much got the main concept of it out the way. Like I said,
Mm-hmm.
man, the STS is not going anywhere. Y'all asses could be mad about this type of show. Only thing I tell you, if you're mad about it, you can fuck off.
And that right there is the bottom line.
Because K Styles said it, you motherfuckers. Until next time, people, we ain't here to play.
Oh no.
We here to stay.
Oh yeah. Dig it.
You ain't gotta go home.
But you got to get the hell up out of here.
We out. Oh yeah.